What's up, guys? This is Matt with Flagstaff Camera, and today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about some of the images that I've been printing from my own work recently and kind of talk about how that process goes, and yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so every week I'm trying to print some of my own images that I've been shooting, trying to keep myself shooting on different cameras, different film stocks, and trying to print. This does a couple things for me. One, keeps the printers busy. Printers that aren't used are unhappy printers, so we like to see the printers being used. And two, it lets me sort of live with my images a little bit, fine-tune them as I figure out what I like for each image and how they look going forward. So here's just a random selection of stuff. I recently went on a trip to White Sands, which was awesome. I brought the Hasselblad 500 CM with me, and I had a really sort of eclectic mix of film stocks. I had Pan F, Ortho 80, I had T-Max, I had Tri-X, and I had a roll of Ilford 3200. So, mix and match. And I didn't include all those in this mix because not all of them were any good. But here's just kind of a little selection of what I've got going here and sort of my iterative process. These are all printed on Pisography, all on Canson Rag Photographique. Here's frame number one here, which is a lovely little high-key desert scape. I like kind of where this is going. The shadow's brought up really far. The black's up pretty far. I think this mimics pretty well what a platinum print would do. So I've got a couple of these that I've been kind of toying with just to sort of see how that works and, which compositions I prefer, what a level of contrast I need, kind of working on these guys. I've got a couple more from similar scenes that I'm still playing with. And so kind of cruising through some of those. I've got a thing for backlit everything. I like things backlit. And this I thought was really interesting. The lens flare I got out of this Hasselblad was kind of goofy. It's not really a shape that I'm used to seeing, but it's a shape that I could get used to seeing. So I'm probably going to do a little bit more of that, shooting basically directly into the sun. This guy I'm really happy with. Kind of a warm, neutral feel there on the Pisography. Again, mimicking platinum, since that's how I print. A little more moody on this one. This took not very much file work, believe it or not. I just basically dropped in a neutral grad here. I think if I made this big, it would have a lot more of the impact that I'm looking for, trying to catch. I may go in and just selectively dodge and burn some of the rays here to bring some of that out, but I like the general direction there. I've got a big stripe through the middle of this one, so I got to fix that. Didn't see that on the screen. And then a couple of my lovely lady here. Again, backlit, because that's my vibe. But just kind of, cruising through what there was of the desert scene that day. And this one I kind of want to put up in my office. I like that. This one, too. This one is cooler. This is a full neutral, which I would probably struggle to do in platinum. It'd probably end up more like this tone. So I'll probably have to reprint this in the correct tone and figure that out. But yeah, sort of, this is like a first draft of each image. Right now I have to go through and do a little bit of work, file work, probably some reprints, probably mostly at this same size while I sort of dial in what I am thinking and feeling about these images. I'll put them up on the wall somewhere where I can see them. Usually I'll just honestly just take a piece of tape and stick it up on the wall and live with it for a little while so that I can get a feeling for it, see what needs to change, see what adjustments need to be made, and then I'll reprint and then do that as many times as it takes until you get one where you're really happy with it. And ideally you don't get sick of these images while you're, got them up in your room or your office or wherever you have them up. So if you get sick of them, maybe that's an indication that it's not the right image and you probably shouldn't print it, massive in platinum. That would probably be a bad idea. So I think a couple of these have some potential, so I'll keep working on them, and we'll bring these back in maybe the next version of this video. Maybe we'll do this like once a week or once a month or something, just talk about what I've been printing from my own work and how that's going, and maybe go through the process a little bit. If you like that, let me know in the comments down below. If you do any of this with your own work, if you print your stuff, if you live with it, if you iterate on it via print, I'd like to hear about how that process works for you, how you get from basically the scan or the original capture to the finished product. Anyway, that's it for today. See you in the next one.